Home Team Heroes, presented by Sobeys, Canada's family grocery store.
You had mentioned you have a tournament coming up.
Yep, next week.
Next week. So we got to get you back on the ice feeling good.
To assist in taking care of athletes, it helps to be an athlete yourself. For Kubet Weston, that is exactly what she is. And it all started in her hometown.
Kubet, I want to start by asking you about your family's ties to Tillsonburg.
Yeah, my family actually has very deep roots in Tillsonburg, starting back in the 1830s. My grandparents lived on Lake Lisgar, and so I grew up skating and rowing on the lake.
Tillsonburg for you came about in a bit of a roundabout way.
My mom and dad actually met at U of T. They moved back to Nigeria as an interracial couple, and my sister and I were born in Nigeria. Nigeria in the early 80s was not a very safe place to be. I think for my mom, that was the main decision. How can she raise her children in an environment where our lives weren't at risk? Because they were literally at risk in Nigeria.
How diverse a community was Tillsonburg at that time?
I don't know if there was any other families that were non-white, and my brother and sister and I were probably the only people that were of color in Tillsonburg.
When did sports become a big part of your life?
So right from the get-go, I couldn't change my skin color. I couldn't change my cornrows and the braids in my hair and my afro. So what I could have an impact on is how fast I could run. And you get a lot of clout on the playground if you're faster than all the boys and all the girls.
She always was a tremendous athletic talent, and she was a tremendous high jumper and good sprinter. She had this all-round ability. I could foresee that she was going to be a world-class athlete at some point in time.
I went on to represent Ontario and competed at the Canadian Championships, and I won a gold in triple jump and long jump and set a record there. And literally 6 months later, I tore my ACL playing basketball. My brother rowed in high school, and I thought, well, it didn't hurt my knee, so I went out and I tried rowing.
Kubet would go on to have an impressive rowing career, including winning multiple medals for Canada in the World Championships in the late 90s. But it wasn't just her success that made her stand out.
Rowing's not a diverse sport. Once I got onto the national team, I remember thinking, well, when I get to the Worlds, that's when I'll see, a more diverse representation of rowing, and there wasn't. Right now, I am a member of the newly created Row Ontario Diversity and Inclusion Committee. I think rowing in Canada is recognizing that it's not representative of the communities that rowers live in. There are a lot of barriers, systemic barriers and other barriers, for people of color to participate in sports like rowing. So I'm really happy to be involved with that initiative.
Today, Kubet also owns a physiotherapy clinic in London, Ontario, a career dream that began in Tillsonburg.
Place your foot against the shoulder rest. I started working at a physiotherapy clinic in Tillsonburg when I was in grade 10. The Tillsonburg Physiotherapy Clinic at that time was owned by 2 female physiotherapists. And so I was able to see these women running a business in my community, and I felt that one day I wanted to do that.
Representation matters, doesn't it?
It does.
You've got to see it.
You've got to see it. There is power, I think, in diversity. There is a strength, and you bring something new to the table that can make that next step even better.